It's Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. I just returned home from the park, so for my medical update. I just also looked up the, they call it the medial, medial compartment of the knee is what the chart said. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like the word crochet personally, but it's crochet. So it's like halfway between a croquette, like a croquet mallet, and like a crochet needlepoint stitch of some sort, for parts of the medialis area of the inner compartment of my knee. I was, it's, like let's back up for a second. While I was at the park today, a couple things happened. One was the energetic dad, which for me, he's like one of those really awesome, like, kid mentors and coaches, and like, I mean, to me, because he's always got this energy, like, and he moves, I think of him like a track coach, but like at a high school kind of a thing, because I don't think he's track and field, but anyway, I heard somebody call him baseball. I have no idea. So, so I mentioned to him about the first time that he had been to the park, or that we had noticed where he played tag with Antonucci. I said to him, on the way home, I just want you to know, my son said how he said how really nice it was to see you. You had so much energy in the play. It was so cool. And then how lucky your son is to have a dad like that. Because I just wanted him to know that he's got this awesome energy to him. Or at least from our perspective, and it's noticeable. But I think it's a compliment. I don't think that it's overreach of any kind. And then he was taking a rest on the bench because they had just run around a lot. And then I had mentioned that I had lived on the forest, like in Long Island. I lived on the forest. So I had different, like, I mean, and I even said, I'm like, the root systems of the trees, they just absorb and give off different types of energy. I was like, here, I was like, in this section of Queens, I was like, I don't know if it's something with the black top. I don't know if it's something between the sky dome and the ground. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. I was like, or it could be a utility problem or thing. I said, whatever it is, I said, since I've moved back here, I said, I used to be I'm like not nearly as athletic as you. I was like, certainly not a professional, but I was like, I could keep up with my kids and it was fun. And I was like, now I'm like, I'm using this, like, it's not the same. It hurts to walk. I said, I'm having a problem with the articulation, and I put my two fists together of my knee joint. I said, it's something, I feel like it's coming from the ground. He said, did you see a doctor about it? I said, no. I said, if I was in Europe, I'd go see a doctor. I was like, because they have things like physicians, and even like a biology surveyor, something along those terminologies. Here, we don't have any of that. I was like, he's like, yeah. He said that he had a problem with his son with whatever, and they had to go to like a whole bunch of doctors before they got the right one. And I'm like, I don't have patience for that. I don't. I'm like, so whatever. I'm trying to figure it out and name it myself. I said I came up with a name. I call it VAMPRE SHOCKE. And he goes, VAMPRE. And I said, yeah, like a voltage and an amperage, like an amp, of electric. I was like, I put it together for VAMPRE. And then shock, because it's almost like it's coming through my heels into my knee joint, and then it's doing something that it's not supposed to do. I was like, and it's just sore. So, so I said, so I'm doing a personal medical diagnostic journal. I was like, but it's tied into whatever atmospheric. So I tried to remember certain pieces that were in the same area at the same time when I experienced these different things. So this way I have some whatever. So he's like, that's interesting. So whatever. So then that's one. Two is for some reason today. Now I had Swedish fish problem yesterday. Today there was some kind of Hershey's dark chocolate given to my son before I could get to him. By the time I got to him, he already had it open. I go, what are you eating? And I took it away from him, but he had already taken one bite of it. And I said, no more candy. You are not allowed to accept candy from this boy anymore. I said, not ever. And I took it and I threw it out. And then something weird with a pink backpack, some kid wearing black and red. I'm like, I don't know, like if I stepped into somebody else's operation with poisoning the kids or handing out laced candy or whatever, but like, I don't know, like, who do you report this kind of stuff to? Like, what authority handles it, or is it, like, I mean, I don't know who's involved in it, but it's like, I don't want my kid involved in it, and I don't know how to opt out of it. I mean, it's just the place I take my son every day. I don't really have much of a choice. It's part of the routine. So, long story short is inside of the articulation of the joint, being the medial joint, there's the lateral, and there's the lateral and the medial meniscus. That's the part where I feel like there's so much, and not shock absorption, because it actually jumps to the top, just to the superior region of the medial joint, where the femur is inside the myomeres and the sheath, because that part is what is actually taking. And then I'm wondering if that's where I hear cracking constantly, but it's within my knee, the crack. And I'm wondering if it's a displaced energy static charge, kind of like when you rub your feet on a carpet and then you touch someone and it zings them, or it transfers energy in a very rudimentary way, because I didn't study this stuff in school. I just know the effects of it. It's almost like it's coming through my heels, it's collecting in my medial knee joint, and then when I go to move my bones in any kind of rotation, like flexion or adduction, I think they call it, I don't know. When I try to do that, then all of a sudden they crack, but I think it might be a displacement of some kind of energy charge that's collecting inside of the knee joint capsule. It's the only thing that I can think of, because it also happens, but not to the extent. The majority of it collects in my knee. My hip doesn't crack, but my hip has inside the pulp of the where the ball and socket goes in, that cavity, it collects at that terminus a lot of pain, but it doesn't crack necessarily. So that's a mention that I wanted to document for myself inside of everything that I have going on. It's star 197. Oh, and the other thing is, that word, well, that word joint, JOINT, has become a street colloquial problem, because I know that the local New Yorkers are like all obsessed with some kind of marijuana trade or whatever. I don't know. I'm not even in that category of touching that with a 10-foot pole. I got a knee joint inside my medial knee area that keeps having a displaced charge. But some of these words makes street, if they hear them in the wrong context, think that I'm double talking about something else, could be possibly, which I'm not. I really do. I am really walking around with a green and black umbrella because it's the only one that Linda had in a big display of pageants and peasantry. And it's just two colors on some spectrum. When I went to kindergarten, that's the words, the sounds that they made when they taught colors. Extent of my education on colors. Black, green, it's an umbrella. It works for both sun and rain when weather patterns change. So, but today I was using it more as like a crutch or a cane to displace some of my weight, because it just, to take the contact from my feet and the ground apart, because it is so disproportionately uncomfortable to stand and to move. But it's also in some timing sequence, because this happened at the Marie Curie Park, where there's Parks Department, there's United States of America flag, there's some city flags with different, I don't know the jurisdictions of any of them. Nobody teaches that kind of stuff, not even in the New York City schools and not in the New York State schools. So it's really hard to protect yourself when you went to the system and the system didn't even teach you the system you were in. And now it's got changing systems from outside systems descending upon you. And they seem to know your system better than you were given an opportunity to know. And then it becomes like this big birthday party, but like surprise party. And you're like sitting there going like, wait, I don't get it. Like, I don't want to be hurt. And I don't understand why anyone is allowing this to go on when my actual alien and human rights are being totally disregarded, my safety, and it's all humans surrounding me. I don't know how to explain that one. All different kinds of humans. Colors, shapes, sizes, occupations, industry, non-essential equipment as far as I'm concerned, in details. They're all in on it, because it's clear as day that I'm being harmed. I still have that tree problem from around the turn of the century with either bear or tiger or lion claws down the tree trunk that scarred me with whatever the humans did at that point in order to force this broken glass issue even further, unbeknownst to me, and I have no idea how to get out of this. And the FM, AM radio station dial doesn't always dial in my favor. In fact, most of the time it feels like it does not dial in my favor, and I'm not even privy on it, and there's no, I don't know how to escape it. I'm stuck within this system and within this flag. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken.